Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm finally here with my how to do French tips 4 different methods with gel polish. I'm really excited to show you guys how to do it, and I'm just going to be doing different methods that I learned within years of doing nails. So I am starting off with my nail stand and my putty. I do use this Gorilla Glue putty, and I love this putty because it doesn't your nails won't move around while you're like painting anything. It's very strong and it's very durable. This is what it looks like. I just wanted to include that because if your nails are moving around on your stand or it's not stable, you will not be able to get a perfect French tip. Like, a French tip is one of those designs that you cannot be like wiggling or anything while you're painting it. So yes, you do need a very stable nail stand, and then the nail tips I am using are the enailcouture Extreme Square, and I'm going to be using size number 3, I believe, for all of them. So I wanted to use a bigger nail just so that you guys can see like very clear how I'm going to be doing everything. On a normal day, of course, I would be buffing the nail and then applying a base coat, but today, for the sake of the video, I'm not, because nobody's going to wear these. I'm just going to throw them away after I'm done. And then for the base color, I'm going to be using number 17 from Nails Bling Supply. It is just a really nice nude. It is pretty sheer, so you do need a lot of coats. Honestly, it wasn't the best nude to use for this tutorial because I kind of just like wasted a whole bunch of gel polish, but you live and you learn. I don't know why I decided to go in with this one. So that is with one coat, and then I'm just gonna get the base color ready for my French tip application. So for the first one that I'm going to be doing is going to be the A method. This is the method that I love so much because this is the one that basically got me started being able to freehand my French tips. You basically just do a line on each side of the nail and create like an A and then connect them. So I will be showing you how I do it. So the first thing that you'll need is a very good brush. I believe this brush is 10 millimeters exactly. I did customize it to where I cut some of the bristles, so I made it super thin. As you can see, this is a regular brush, and then this is the one I cut. The one I cut is just a little thinner, and they are around the same length. So you could use Nails by Dev 9mm liner brush. That's what this one is, I believe, and it'll work perfect for this. Like I said, I just like cutting it. I'm showing you guys here how I cut it. Sorry, you guys, I had to speed it up because the video will be too long. But I did cut some of the bristles off. You could see right there. Just to make it as thin as possible because I really want that thin, ultra thin liner brush. I have it literally it happens to me so often where it'll say it's ultra thin and then it's not. See, this is like a brush also from the same kind of collection, so I would just grab some of the bristles like this and then cut those off, and then see, like right here, I would cut those off and then I'll be left with those right there. So that's what I would do to cut it. So if you guys have any brushes you don't care about cutting, I highly recommend you guys try doing that. I love that method, definitely recommend. But make sure it's not on a super expensive brush. So yeah, this is the brush that I'm using, and then the next thing you're going to be needing is your white gel polish. So I love this Level Up liner gel from Nails by Dev, and I also love this white gel polish from Amazon. Recently I've been mixing a little bit of both, so I use more of the gel polish and just a little bit of the liner gel just because I love the way it like makes it opaque. But the problem with this gel polish is sometimes if you live in like a warmer area and it's like sometimes warm in your like area where you do your nails, it'll get a little bit kind of watery for some reason. So I recommend keeping it in a fridge. I showed the Zule's nail glue right now because just like the Zule nail glue, when it's warm it starts to run everywhere and get watery. So I love using this Nails by Dev liner gel and a little bit of the other gel polish, a little bit of the liner gel and more of the gel polish, mixing them together because it makes it super opaque without you having to use so much of the liner gel. This is not always needed. It's more so during the warmer months. But like I said, if you have a mini little fridge that you can have in your room or anything like that, that would help a lot so that your products don't get too warm, like at least the ones you use all the time. So now I'm showing you guys about like a longer brush. So you could use a longer brush as well, but I also cut it. So right now I'm using my regular size. I think I'm going to use the regular size or the longer one. Sorry, you guys, will see here in a second. I actually filmed this about a month ago or more. It was right before I started getting issues with my back, so I totally like forgot like what I even did. So right now we're going to be doing the line down the side. This is one side of the quote unquote A. So now we're going to be doing the other side. You want it to be super nice and thin, but this part doesn't need to be too perfect, but you kind of want to go in towards the middle of the tip of the nail. So you could see there is like a tip, it's kind of middle part where you can meet up at with your 2 lines, and that's really going to help you get that perfect smile line. These 2 lines are kind of the most crucial, and for the next part of the A, you just want to make sure you do the line where you want your French tip to, like your smile line to end. So yeah, exactly where you want it to end is where it's gonna go. So see, I wiped it off because I did that on accident. So now we're going to be doing the line, and it all just depends on how long you want it. Some people like really long smile lines. It honestly depends on the set you're doing. I feel like that's perfect right there. So as you can see, it looks like a perfect A, and now we're going to connect our lines. My hands were a little shaky for this video. It wasn't really the best time for me to film it. I don't know why I was so shaky, but yeah, I'm just going ahead and connecting my lines here. And I think it's already looking so good. This is one of the best methods if you're a beginner that is trying to get better at French tips. This is like the best way you could learn, the fastest way you can learn, because it's so easy to connect your lines. So you just, my recommendation is use a thin brush, use really small strokes, like don't put so much pressure, kind of just like glide it on the nail, and then you fill in later. So first you want to get the base structure down. Yeah, like just get the structure down like this, and then you will end up with a perfect smile line. So as you can see, already looks really good. This is more of a deep French. You can do different types of French. It's all up to whatever you like. You can make your A more like wide. You can make it straight like how I made mine, more skinny. It all just depends on what you like. So it's all up to your preference and whatever type of nail you're going to be doing. And now we're going ahead and filling it in with the same brush. You could use a thicker brush to fill it in, like one like that I just showed right there. But whenever you use those, you can definitely see the stroke marks in the white gel. For some reason, using a really small brush like this, you don't see the stroke marks, and it ends up being so flawless and perfect. I think it kind of has the same effect as almost like those shoes that you use to walk on wet paint on a floor. You know how they have like spikes on the bottom? Because they're like tiny spikes, it'll just level itself back out, and it won't be a big deal. But if you step on it with a regular shoe, then you'll definitely see the footprint. You know what I mean? Same type of effect as that. So kind of think of it that way. You definitely want to fill it in with the same brush you're using to create your French in the first place. I don't know what I was doing here, but you can see I'm trying to fix it. Like, I think I was trying to straighten it out a little bit more, but as you can see, it was already good the first time. It's just my brain sometimes like plays with me. I don't know why, you guys, but yeah, this is what it's looking like. It looks really, really good. I love the way it's looking, and that is one of my favorite methods to use, if not my favorite method to use before I started freehanding it. This will get you prepared for being able to freehand it just without any guidance at all. So the next method I'm going to be doing is the cleanup method. So with this method, you're just going to want to paint the color all the way down. So I'm going to do white, and you kind of want to do it already in a smile line type of shape, just really messily. So you can see here, I'm already leaving an overall area for my smile line to go. I'm just leaving it like this, so kind of like a square, and then I'm going to clean it up into a perfect oval. So you're going to want a really thin, a flat brush like this one that I have here, and you're going to clean up the smile line. So I love this method. This one was also one of my favorites before. It just takes a little more precision, but it is a little easier to clean up the smile line. If the A method doesn't work for you, totally try this one, because this one might work a lot, or because this one might be like the one for you. You know, if the A method doesn't work out, try this one. Or yeah, it'll be either the A method or this one that you end up really loving. But I actually did this one first before the A method, and this is the one that kind of overall just helped me start with my French tips. Like, once they first started getting popular, I think this was the method that I was using, and a lot of people were telling me that it did work for them. So totally recommend it if you haven't tried it already. As you can see, the sides aren't so perfect, so now I'm going to go in and I'm going to clean them up just a little bit. So the only thing about this method is you can definitely see the brush strokes. I'm trying to show you guys here. You could see where the brush was like gliding on the nail. That's what I mean by like using the small little tiny brush to fill it in is easier. So with this method, you do need to apply a second coat, or else you will be able to see that like sheerness in the color, which is what I hate. But cleaning it up, sorry you guys, cleaning it up doesn't take a long time. It takes a few seconds, a few minutes, if that. So you're going to want to go over it again, and then you're going to clean it up with the same brush again. And because your smile line is already cured from the layer before, it shouldn't be an issue to clean it up. It should be pretty simple. So you're just going to clean it up. And I did forget to mention, I am cleaning it up with just a little bit of acetone on my brush. I do use acetone. It does not melt your gel polish or anything underneath. Like, it will not melt your base color. Just make sure you barely have your brush damp. You don't want to be like dripping acetone off your brush. If you do, then yes, your nail will probably melt away. But yeah, that's what it looks like. I love that method so much. It works great. So the next method I'm going to be doing is actually a new one I've never done before. It's when they get one of these acrylic nail tip cutters, or I don't know what they're called, acrylic smile line cutter, and you put gel polish on the back, and it kind of creates a stencil for you to be able to fill in. So we're going to try this out and see if it works. So basically I'm painting on my white gel on the underneath part of the stencil. So I'm just going ahead and painting on. Honestly, I didn't know if this was gonna work. I have never in my life tried this, but I wanted to at least try it out one time just to see if it would work for anybody that might be struggling with French tips. And you guys will see shortly that this does not end up being a good method. At least I think it doesn't. Like, I honestly don't like it. But yeah, I'm not gonna waste your guys' time and tell you that it works, because it doesn't really, at least for me. Maybe I have the wrong smile line cutter. I'm not sure. You guys let me know what you think, or if this has worked for you. I also just didn't really like the shape of the smile line. It looks a little too pointy for my liking. I like it just a little bit rounder. But I do think for certain nails this would be good. It's just that for this specific nail, this would technically be considered like a middle finger or a thumb, and it just was a little bit too, it was almost like the nail was too wide, which sucks because it's only size 3. So imagine trying to use this nail tip method or the nail cutter method. Oh my gosh, you guys, sorry. I said that wrong. Imagine trying to use the smile line cutter on a size 1 or size 0 nail. It wouldn't really work because the smile line cutter is already so like, I don't know how to explain it, like long and thin. Like, the actual smile line part is so long and thin and kind of pointy, so it wouldn't really work for a bigger size nail, which, like I said, sucks. I'm a size 1 thumb, so this method would just not work for me at all. But yeah, so here I am. I basically had to just freehand the French after all, because once I did it, you could see once I put it on, the like overall shape was kind of there, but it didn't really look that good. So I did end up just going in and trying to fix it. So I would say overall this one is a dud, like a dud method. But I did see it on TikTok, I believe, months and months ago, so it must have worked for them if I saw it. So maybe I just have the wrong smile line cutter, like I said. Okay, so next, slightly similar to the A method, we are going to be doing the T method. So this is a method where you go straight down the nail like this. So you're going to create a thin line from the middle part. This is more so like, I think if you can't really get your smile line to be straight in the middle, but honestly, I think the A method works better for this as well, because the A method also gets you kind of right in the middle. I think it just depends. So now you're going to create a T by creating a small little line on the bottom, just like that. As you can see, that's a really long T, and now you're going to create your smile line that way. So now you're just going to go down to the sides and try to make it as even as possible. Because this doesn't have the side guidelines like the A method does, I do think this method is honestly a little bit harder. So if you are really a beginner, I think I would recommend the A method more. Personally, I just think it works better. So yeah, this one was okay as well, but honestly not my favorite. And yeah, here I am kind of trying to get my smile line straight and even. So now here are all the methods right next to each other. The first one we have here is the A method. This one was one of my favorites. And then we had the cleanup brush with acetone method second. Sorry you guys, I didn't know I was out of frame here. I wish I would have went a little bit more in frame. The third one is going to be that smile line cutter method, and the fourth one was the T method. Out of all of them, honestly my least favorite is that smile line cutter one. I honestly think the other ones are pretty good. Like, they're honestly amazing for beginners. Like I said, the A method is one of the ones I recommend the most, or the cleanup method. Those both worked for me when I sucked at French tips. I couldn't do them, and now they have helped me immense. Like, they have helped me tremendously with my smile lines. So if you guys are struggling, I highly recommend you try it and just practice and practice and practice. I promise you guys will get better. Don't give up. Don't feel defeated, because that's how I used to feel too. I used to compare my French tips to other people's, and I would like cry and say, like, why don't they match? Like, why can't I do that? And it was because I wasn't doing the method that was working right for me. So I highly recommend you guys try something out if you guys are feeling defeated. And I hope you guys liked this video. I hope it helped you out a little bit, and I tried to make it short and sweet, just so that I didn't bore you guys. But I really appreciate you guys that support me and my channel. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe, and I really appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.